Howdy lovelies, how are you all doing? Welcome back to Our Crafting, where we learn, grow and craft together. Today I want to show a digital kit. It is the Granny's Roses Loaded Bucket Kit of DigiandSVGDesigns4U. They are on Etsy, and I am supporting this small business because they have the most exquisite designs. Their graphics are really superb. No, I'm not affiliated with them whatsoever. I am just a very chuffed and satisfied customer. Watching me, the previous series, some of the others in between, I had been using their little ephemera pieces over and over in my makings. Now, sometimes when I take my little bits and bobs tray out, I will say it can either be Tracy Fox or this. Now, for today, it is their kit. So, without further ado, let's take a look at this kit that I am so impressed by. As you can see, it's really, really awesome. I love vintage, shabby chic, that French cottage look. All of it is just so, so beautiful. Now, in the kit, you will have the main pocket, and they give you the instructions, where to fold, where to cut. It's very, very clear how to set this up. But let's look through this kit first. So that's the main pocket. Then we have the smaller pockets. Again, the steps are there for you to follow. Then they've got all these exquisite pieces in the set. Let me just get those papers out of the way. Some roses, little flowers. You can make these into tags. You can make it a layer flower. You can layer the butterflies. It's really honestly up to you and your imagination. This kit is allowing you to do quite a few things with it. So this is the first set, or first page in the set, with all the embellishments that you can use. Here we also have a tiny other pocket that you can slip then into the main pocket, some other decorating pieces, a beautiful tag that you can cut out, some little beautiful words just to round off your project, some other things, some tags, journal cards, another tag. You can use it as a belly band if you so wish, and then the little tiny tickets that you can use, which are really, really adorable. And as you can see, the pink roses are all over the set, which I simply love and fell in love with. In the kit, you also receive your instruction sheet, how to assemble this. And again, just for your reference, it's called the Granny's Roses Loaded Bucket. All the steps are there. They show you samples of how to assemble it. It is absolutely lovely. If you look at this, I'll bring this closer so you can have a look at that. Really exquisite. And you can do with this kit what you want to. With that, I mean that you can make it truly your own. Now you can add lace and ribbon, some buttons if you want, extra pieces. It's entirely up to you. But they give you the parts that you need and how to print it. I also want to show you the end papers in this range. There are 5. They're not probably in the order that they, appear in the kit, but they are just amazing. I had used this in a project separately, so you can reuse these sheets. You can print it both sides. Mine are just single for today. I will show you with the main pocket. I've printed this sheet on the back of the main pocket. The others, just single sheets. This, also that vintagey look, absolutely beautiful. The sugar stripes, the pinstripes, again a vintagey one, and those pink roses there. Now those are the end papers. You can make extra goodies to put in your pocket. You've got your sheet that gives you the instructions and all the ephemera pieces. Now I'm going to cut this out. No, don't worry, I won't bore you on screen cutting it out. However, we will start with these two. So grab your pair of favorite scissors. For this one, I printed the beautiful end paper on the back on the main pocket. I just want to start showing you how to cut out. Remember, not that I don't think you don't know how to cut out, but we do move our paper when we cut out and not our scissors. It's just so much easier. They show you exactly where to cut and how you will fold it. They tell you fold the flaps in, you're going to glue that down. And it's actually so simple with the very clear instructions. So for a beginner, it will be an amazing journey to go on and have a beautiful end result when you have assembled this and put it all together, decorated however you want, adding your own flair to it, making your own, in other words, very unique. They show you these beautiful examples of how to assemble it, but it is up to you how you actually want to put it together. And if we just get that little bit, yes, it's a little bit tedious to cut out, but boy, the satisfaction you feel when you are done and you have a beautiful piece assembled. Now, I love vintage, so I'm going to just grab my inking tool, and I'm just going to, it is already inked, I just want a little bit more there. And it's mostly to hide the white parts. So now you know why we do this, is to hide the parts where there is some white where you maybe didn't cut it on exactly the line, so you hide all that little bits of white pieces. And for this one, I just want to grab my ruler. I'm going to just fold it up so I can quickly and easily fold it down, and I'll show you so that I can just ink that edge as well. For the rest of the cutting, I'm going to do that off camera just to save some time, and we will get back to the assembly part of it, which will be a whole lot of fun, way more than watching me cut out the pieces. So there we have that. I just want to ink this. I must just fold that properly in. Sorry people, I had folded that one skew. There we go. On the line, Krista, on the line. And there we have it. So let's just ink that just a little bit more, and on this side too. And there we have it. We're going to glue this together in a little bit, but first I am going to cut out my other pieces. So I am back after cutting out the pieces. You can, maybe I should have mentioned this earlier, print it on cardstock as well if you want. Thin cardstock, something like 100 or even 80 GSM, grams per square meter. It doesn't have to be very thick, because if it's too thick, you will have difficulty in folding this in. There will be added bulk on the pockets. Now for this one, you can see the pieces. We folded this one earlier and I showed you I inked the edges. Now I want to let's start with the big pocket, the main pocket as they call it here, the main pocket, which is already folded. I want to show you an easy way. If you take a ruler and your scoring tool, you can lightly run your scoring tool across, or you can use a gift card or an old credit card and just score that. It will just help you to fold it so much easier. And we're going to glue this down. Now there's already that fold line and it should be easy. You see, it just makes it so much easier when you fold this in. We're going to do the same with the other little pockets just to ease it up. So grab that and we're going to do exactly the same thing. This one could have also been printed with a double one. We can actually quickly fix that and just glue one of those end papers down so that when this is folded up, we still have the inside that is so beautiful. So I've gone ahead and I had cut the white edge of this sheet of paper so that when you line it up, it is not bothersome. Now you will see I had previously printed a test sheet on this, and this is where this is coming in. But if that's bothering you, just turn it over and you can use this side. Seeing that we're going to glue it down, it really truly doesn't matter. So I'm going to grab a glue stick, get this sorted, and just get this all glued down nicely. Should have been better if it was double-sided from the start. I did not think of that. I should have read the instructions clearer, but it is easily remedied, and we can just add some glue to the back of the sheet and then just get this sorted. Just making sure there's glue right on the edge there so that this can actually just glue down perfectly well. And there we have it. So I'm going to just attach that well, and it should all be good. And if it is not sticking down well, I don't think I've glued the ends, just put some glue there, and there you have it. And yes, my best tools are always my fingernails. When I do mixed media art as well, I prefer my fingers instead of paintbrushes. So there we have it. Now we have, and nobody would even know that this was an old piece of paper where you had printed that on. There we have it. So now let's just cut this out quickly so that we have that part at the back. And with the instructions and the areas where you need to cut, it is so easy to assemble these pockets. I'm going to just cut across quickly and trim that across. And there we have that piece of paper that we can still use for something else at a later point. Let's just trim the middle part. And of course you can go ahead then and also ink it if you so wish, though the ends are already quite darkened. But just to accentuate that, I'll grab a little bit of vintage photo and make sure that any of the white parts that I had not trimmed off properly is camouflaged, which is mostly the reason, and to pull the eye in. And we're going to ink these edges to the top. Just continue inking till you are satisfied with it. It just enhances that, takes that little bit of white away from the edge, and that will be perfect. I just want to quickly score this in the middle, and I want to ink the inside as well. So just to show you, you don't have to have the tools. I use my access card that I used in the previous series so much. It helps to get that to score in the middle. Alternatively, you could have just folded that over and burnished that there. Wonderful. Now we're going to do the same with the inside before we actually ink it, so that I know where to ink it up. Do the same thing there. Just make sure you line it up nicely and run your card across. Anything can work, even a paper clip can work to get that. Now to help this, you're going to just bend that a little bit on that line, and that is a perfect fold. Now I just want to ink the inside in the middle, that side. So going to fold it outside over just to get that. Now these parts we will see, so I want to ink the inside here as well. Not so much there. The top part is with the paper. I'll just turn this over and do this part as well. And there we have that. Now we're going to fold that in. This one also needs to be scored. Take your card again and score it. Remember, we've got that double layer now, and the glue is probably still not completely dry. If you leave it a little bit, it just dries perfectly well, and it is so much easier to then use. Why do I score on the opposite side of where I want to fold? It just helps the paper, and it also ensures that it doesn't crack and cause an ugly show off that crack on your project. There we have that. We're going to glue that in, and I beg your pardon, still battling with that cold. Just burnish that well, and I want to ink the edge as well. Yeah, there we go. So one of the little pockets will be done. So let's go ahead and glue down these little flaps. You can use glue stick, you can use liquid glue. Just use a little bit of liquid glue so that it doesn't seep through, and also not a lot so that it can warp your paper. Now just a thin little sliver of glue there, and also on this side. And you can fold it right over and again burnish it. Let me just grab my card again. Any of the glue will seep out through there and not onto your project. And we can, as always, just wipe it away. Make sure there's no extra that was stuck there. And there we have the tiny little pocket on the inside. Isn't that just too gorgeous? Now we're going to, let me just get the glue out of the way, work on the other pocket. So here is our main pocket. We folded it in earlier before I started cutting out the other pieces. Now we're going to glue this down, this one on top of that. Just put glue all over, and we can then glue it down. I'll start from the top going down, and this one. Just making sure that is flat. Burnish it just with a nail again, just to ensure it is completely flat. And that one on top there, so it will kind of stick down already on top of each other, those two little layers. I've got glue on my finger now. How silly is that? Little eraser, any pencil eraser while the glue is still wet, and that can fix that little bubble. And let's fold this in so that we can glue this pocket down. And there is our main pocket done and dusted. Again, just burnish that. Well done. Now we can add the front parts of this. I want to just go ahead anyway and just, now remember, this doesn't have a double layer like this little one, which is a whole lot more sturdy. So I would suggest next one that I make to rather do this on thin cardstock, just so that it has that little bit of added weight, so that it can take some more, and it is not flimsy. It would have been a better bet if I printed that on double-sided. There we go. So main pocket done. That's what it looks like. There's a little bit of paper. You can see it's just that little bit of that paper that you can see, but it rounds off your project so much better than having a white gap there. Now for these ones, we're going to do the same thing. I just want to get the ink there. I'll put the pocket to one side while we work on this. We're going to score these ends as well so that we can easily fold them. Again, I do this on the opposite side. Just make sure you line it up perfectly. You don't want to fold it in the wrong places. Just run this across. Mine has got a metal tip. You get some that are plastic. I've got various ones that are plastic. Some of them has got like a little bow in front. Tiny though, but still there. So if I say you can use a paper clip, so let's do this. Let's go ahead. I'll grab one here. I've got that one. I just want to show you that you can. I'll just grab another one from here. And I want to show you that you don't have to have the scoring tools. So I'm going to go ahead, just line this up nicely, grab my paper clip, ready in hand, just score on that line where you can see it, and there you have it. Not too hard because you can cut your paper, but there you have that indent. So that was the one paper clip. Now I'm going to use the other paper clip, which has got more of a point. It's a thicker wire, obviously more sturdy, it's stronger. So let's do that. I just want to show you with an array of things that you can do the same thing and don't always have to have the tools. Now you can see the lines are scored. We're going to just fold this over on those lines, and you can burnish it well with your fingernail, the card, or even with the paper clip. You can see that one, so when we fold it over, it's so much easier. Just want to show you it can be done with various things. Even, let me just close this before I put glue on it. You can even use an upside down glue stick, using the cup side of it, in other words, to burnish your projects with. I mostly grab my fingernail, but there you have it. That pocket is then burnished. I'll go ahead and do this one as well, and then ink both of them. So let's continue with the paper clips, seeing that we have them handy. And in a little bit, I will probably push that aside and forgot. Why did I take it out? Just run that across. Make sure you don't have a ruler that's slipping. Line it up just so that you can barely see that color of the printing. Run it across. If you find that your project is skewed, just go in, rescore it, and refold it, basically. Oh, I did move mine. So there we go. Just do that again. And there we have the fold line. Now we're going to fold this in. Make sure it's on the right line now. And just adjust that a little bitty. There we have it. Tiny little bit. Because I scored it now twice. The bottom one folded in. Because you scored it on the opposite side, it actually folds so much easier. And we're going to burnish that. Use a fingernail, fold this one in. Now this needs to be glued down on the main pocket. And after that, it is time to decorate and complete the project. So before we get to that, I want to show you, just burnish it down from the one side to the other with the flat side of your glue stick. You can use any of those things. After this, I will just close the ink. Just want to get this part inked up. A little bit more of that brownish vintage color. I'm thinking Lost Shadow of Tom Holtz would have been a perfect color with that light gray color of the ink to complement this set. And the other side too. Now this pocket will be glued down first with a smaller one right in front. So I'm going to go ahead and close the ink now. Time for the fun to get started. Now you can glue this one on directly on here before you glue the top one. I will just do it this way. You do you, whichever is easy for you. I'm going to just take some liquid glue. And suddenly my glue, there we go, it's running again. Now I don't want that big blob of glue there. Just going to smear it about a bit. Same on this side. Not too much glue. Now we're going to line this up at the bottom. Just make sure that it's lined up nicely. Don't move the main pocket, and just glue that down. And there we have it. Again, burnish it with your fingernail, glue stick, whatever you want to use to burnish. Not too much glue used, so it's not running out. And there we have that. So that pocket is now also on our project. And the last one, I like to just keep these little flaps out, so A and C on B. Just waiting for the glue to run down again. I know I have to keep this on its side, but I sometimes do forget. Just a little tad of glue that side, pressing that down, and then a little bit there. Now for this one, you are going to line the top, the bottom edges, and you're going to just line it up again with this one. Make sure the bottom edges are aligned. So our last pocket, the smaller one of the three, are here. Now here it's quite sturdy because there's now the 3 layers of paper on here. So it really truly is quite thick. I'm just worried about that part that is quite flimsy, but it should all be fine. I should have just printed it on cardstock. And there we have our main pocket with one of these that can be added in there, and you can now go ahead and decorate this as you wish. Now, this is Granny Roses. To me, it seems like we need some lace. We truly need some lace. What do I have? I just grabbed a few bits and bobs here, and I'm going to start with this ruffled one at the bottom. And that will take a little while to actually glue. So I'll be using, again, Eileen's, just turning this over so that I can add that ruffle to the end with this liquid glue. Fabric tack would have worked as well. And I'm just going to leave that for a second to dry. See, I'm moving the paper clips out of the way. However you want to decorate this, it truly is up to you. We've got all these pieces that we can use. Absolutely beautiful. You can decorate it however you want. I just got some glue on that rose. Let's just straighten this a little bit. So we're going to start gluing from this side all along that edge, making sure, and that's why I leave the glue just a tiny little bit so that it can stick easier. And there we have it. Trim the end. If there's anything extra, we can trim that in the end. I love that. Wipe that down. Make sure there's no extra glue at the bottom that can cause havoc anywhere. There we have that. Oh, this is going to be fun to decorate this set. Now we can go ahead and add glue, lace, I mean to say not glue, anywhere you want. You can make this your own. I'm just going to trim a little bit extra so that we can actually... Now, if you're scared you get glue on your project, slip a little paper packaging in there, and then you are almost safeguarded of any mishaps. You could have also put the lace down before you glued it down. I just think the edges would have been difficult to handle if you did go ahead and... Now, I did trim this a little bit longer than what is needed because we still have this angle that we have to trim it on. So I can just trim it straight at the end once this is glued down. And this is the reason why I put the packaging material in. You can see that the glue had gone onto that and luckily not spoiling our project. So there we have that one. And you can honestly, like I said, go ahead and go wild with this. Just don't cut your project when you trim this. There we have that. This can truly be thrown away. Now let's see, everything is done and sorted. Right. So I'm going to start decorating some of these parts. I think some lace would be perfect. Let's get this sorted. I mean, ribbon, not lace. Right, there we go. And let's just cut the bottom part. I think there we have it. This one is just ruffled. Let's just trim this part. I think a little bit gold will be perfect. You can keep this for a journaling spot. So I want to go ahead and just get that in the middle, but the ribbon is a bit slippery, and I think I'm going to go ahead and just staple that in the middle. Maybe we should just trim it a little bit more. Yeah, I think so. Let's see how long this should be. I don't want it that long. Let's see. All right, I will resize this. See, you can't plan anything ahead of time because last minute I changed my mind, which is nothing new. I just want to trim that. Let's do this across and a slant, and then trim that one on that. Then at least they are the same. Right. You can use a brad for this. You can use a stapler. You can just glue it down and put a button on top. There's various ways of doing this. Anyway, it would work. Just going to fold this in halfway, more or less halfway. Doesn't have to be perfect. And yes, like I said, this is quite slippery because this is satin on chiffon. This was printed on cardstock, so it is a tiny little bit more sturdy. And I'm going to staple it twice. And there we have that part. And yes, I do like it being a bit wonky on top. So this is now dry. The lace is dry without closing the pocket. This is attached, so that is perfect. This one can go in there because that is the top part of this. Now for the little bits and pieces, we can take a few things from here. Let's put the roses one side. Oh, we can build some flowers. There's so much that we can do here. These little cards can go in. Let's see. Oh, they fit in perfectly well there. So cute. But I like this rose. I want some of it outside too. Let's see, butterflies. I love the roses. I simply love the roses. I would want that to be visible. We can put that one inside. Maybe add a slant. This one can go in there. Oh, I'll slip it in there. That's why it doesn't fit in, because I keep on putting it into the stock bucket. Let's take that one out for now. Then you can see this one. There we go. Now there's so much that you can do with these pieces. You can make layered butterflies. That will be too adorable, to be quite honest. We're just going to fold the top two, bend it a little bit in half. We can actually score it in half. And then we can glue this down. It will just give that little bit of a fold. And again this side, so that we have the wings folding up. So I scored at either side of that little body so that the wings can then fold up. And for this one, I want to also just ink it a little bit, just to define it with the brownish color that I have used before. And the same with this one. Also just the wings on the one side and the wing on the other side, so that the body is in the middle. You can go ahead and you can ink this with any color that you want. You can also ink it with pink, or even a green if you want to. Blue, if you're maybe adding some blue stuff here. Whatever color it is and theme that you want to bring across. You know, I love the vintage, so I automatically go for some grunge. Let's glue this down. I love this set. It's really awesome. Like I said, not affiliated with them. I just love their work. Amazing. For those of you that are doing sublimations, they also have quite a few of that. Kits for expecting mothers, baby kits, Christmas kits, farm. There's so many absolutely awesome ones. And a little bit of glue there. I just want this. Don't mess it up now. There we go. Oh, how beautiful is that? And then of course we can now have the wings up like this for a bit of dimension. Now we don't know where this will be. I just want to let this dry like this. So I'm going to grab a little clip and just have this dry upright for the moment. There we go. That will work perfect. There's so much, there's so much. Oh, I'm excited. Goodness. Look at this. Can be single. Oh, I obviously cut this one not out too well. There's quite a bit of white edge there. Let me just fix that quickly. There we have that. We have so many different parts. You can layer this up, add a little button. You can add a brad if you want to. They have these little rose parts. I've got the second set here. So, let's do that. I like that. I really, truly like that. It's really cute. Let's do one in the middle. I'm going to glue that down. Just having a play now. And I'm sure it will look different to what they had suggested. You can add your own buttons to this. Anything else that you want to add to this pocket, you can honestly, truly make this your own. Just a little bit of glue in the middle there. And yes, I use liquid glue. I just want the contrast of that. That one can dry in the meantime. Now, there is so much that we can do. You can add so many different aspects to this. You can make this a journaling spot. You can put it in the back of this with this one because it's quite long. You can add it there. I think I like it, the contrast there. Let's put that there. I want it inked, of course. Just a little bit of an ink smear here and there. Bring in and work in that grunge a bit with a shabby chic. It's a nice journaling spot, but some added flair in the pocket. I really truly love it. And here we've got these ones. We've got one more of that. We've got that. Let's add a little bit of our ribbon just to get this now. For this one, I am going to punch a hole in as it's there. And I think I want a real brat there. Let's do the same with this one. Just use it, one hole punch. Let me grab some brats to actually put in here. Now I'm going to use brats. You can leave it as it is. You can simply put, this will probably be a little bit thick, but just put a piece of ribbon or lace through it and you can merely tie it. You don't have to put the brat in. However, I want to go ahead and put the gold in there. And I will be using my eyelet setter to just pinch that and get it set. And there we have that one. Tiny bit loose, so let's, oh, and it fell out because it's so loose. And there we have it. Let's do the next one. I want to bring in a bit of gold because there's a bit of gold on that ribbon. And done. That is done. Just that added bit there. If you don't have the eyelet setter, you can skip this step. It's really you making this your own. The flower should be done, glued down, and this should be done, glued down. And look at that butterfly. Isn't it just too adorable? I love how that gives it that dimension. Now I want to add a few of this, maybe one there. I love this. It's so, so, so gorgeous. Really, truly gorgeous. I want to add, I love the flowers. I truly love the flowers. One of those can go in there. I want to take a piece of this ribbon. Don't know how long yet, so I will, do I want it single? No. I'll trim the rest now. Put it in through double, from the back to the front, pull that piece, and then you're going to open this up to make a little loop. Can you see that? The little loop. And then you're going to push through the ends of this, and you're going to tighten this. I want that one in front, so let's do it the other way. Sorry. I'm going to pull this out again and push it through this side. I want that in the front, not the back. There we go. Do the same thing, open up the loop. And we will trim the excess off now. Don't pull too hard. Tighten the inside so that that loop gets smaller, but you don't want it out completely. There we have it. I'm just going to trim that down diagonally so that I keep on saying lace, the ribbon is not unraveling later. You could also have cut it in a fishtail. There we have that one. For this one, I want to add a bit of ribbon, but I just want to put it through, and because this will be, the lace is a bit thick, so I'll just roll it up, push it through from the back, just a single one, and we're just going to tie it up there, and then we can trim the excess off. I just want it like this, and let's cut it at a slant from the start. So 2 tags done with some extra ribbon from here to repeat the pattern. Now on here, I want to see, I've got that with the brown. That's quite small. I really, really love the layers of these flowers. And that one, the pink one, is quite cute. I'll keep that for a moment and I'll show you what we do with that one. I've got some brads here, so I'm going to use the tiny one on there. And for this, we're going to just cut a tiny, where is my Stanley, or box cutter Stanley knife, call it whatever you want, to craft knife, which is humongous. I'm just going to put a little mark in the middle, and I'm going to put this brad through, which is quite a bright pink color, just for the contrast with the brown. There we have that. And we're going to bend it over, split the pins at the back. If only I can see what I'm doing. Be careful, don't get this under your nail. It's quite painful when you do. And I will just push that down so that the brad is fixed. There we have that little flower that we can add. We're going to do the same thing with these flowers here, these ones. But for that one, we're going to use a bigger flower, a bigger brad, sorry. And I'm going to just make that slit again in the middle. It just helps to put the brad through both layers there, push it right through, open it up. I see I've got glue on my finger. I beg your pardon. And push down on it just to make sure that it flattens. And there we have that one. Again, just a little bit of that vintage grunge on it. Already it's outlined, which makes it so much easier to cut as well, but to just add that tiny little bit there. So we've got 3 flowers now. We've got these little beautiful things. This one is so gorgeous, but let's put some of these pieces there. So let's see, let's do fragrance at the bottom. But before we do that, a little bit of inking on the ink blending tool. Add that little bit of color, hide that white, and a glue stick, which had been open for quite a bit, so it's quite sticky. Fragrance, that's beautiful. Maybe also a bit of brown around the edges here, hiding some of that. Let's do the back side as well, which is giving you awesome space for journaling, which is ultimately what we want to accomplish with journals. Let's pop that one in there. We've got that beautiful piece of lace, which is awesome. I want to add a bit of crunch there. And while we're at it, just ink these edges too. Not too much, just ever so lightly. You don't want to truly change the color of it. Just that slight something. So light like that you think, is there something? Or am I now imagining that? And it does make quite a difference. All right, this one is also gorgeous. Let's see. We've got this tiny bit. I'm going to staple that one on there. But what I'll do is, just for my own sanity, because to hold that and staple it where I want it to be, I will have to just glue it down that tiny bit. Not much glue, just a tiny bit. Really, truly just a tiny little bit. It's silk, it's tiny, and it's going to move around while I'm trying to staple it down. Holding that with a bit of glue is helping. I just want to get it more or less in the middle. And there we have that extra texture, and it is awesome. Would have worked if I had inked the edges before I had stapled that down. And there we have that, a tiny little bit of a change on it. Entirely up to you what and how you want to do this. I want that. I love these roses. I truly want to incorporate that. I think I still have to see where that needs to go. So for this, we've got that one. Let's do one of these in there. We will see the back of that sticking out, which is perfect. We will pop that one in there, into the pocket. These ones are in the way, so I can't see the pocket. And there we have that one. This one there. I love the roses. Absolutely love it. Now I'm thinking of putting this one here so that that's there. I'm going to add that, and I'm just putting glue in the middle on the body of this butterfly. Not too much. We Don't want the glue to seep all over. And there we have that. I'm going to just tap that in the middle just to make sure that it glues down perfectly fine. Remember, I showed you that they have this beautiful set of instructions that you can follow. If you're a bit unsure, still finding your way around this, by all means, you can do that. Now, nothing stops us from adding a little one there or to the back of that. Perfect. That's awesome. I'm just going to add that in. And there we have it. Now we can add that to the bottom here. Also, you can see the brat at the back. With our lace, added lace, the lace trim. I like that quite a bit. Maybe we should pull that one out and just pop it in here as well, so that we have that. Now we've got so much still to put in here. Quite cute. Absolutely love this. I want another. Going to put memories on this one. That's the saddest part. Sometimes photos are the only memories we have of a situation, something, somebody, a time that we had experienced. So keep on taking those photos, especially now in the digital world where we have the opportunity to actually store it digitally. There we have that. I love that. Really, really cute. I'm so happy I bought this set, this kit. Now let's do something different. I want to add a bow pin, I think. Yeah, I'm just thinking out loud here, so please just excuse me for that. None of these things are ever planned, so I go with the flow. I truly, literally go with the flow. And you can see I'm not following a plan. Nothing should be in a certain way. I literally go with the flow. Let's see. I've got some more split pins here, or brads. Some people call it split pins, others call it brads. Either way is fine with me. I need to still add this one also. I like that. I really like that. But there's so much that we can do. Come, let's add that a little bit there. I'll just cut it by 14.5. What's left you can use on another project. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? And we can maybe put heavenly on this one. So much. And you can reprint this kit. Once you bought it, you can reprint it. I just want to get that extra bit of glue off there because it's open for so long. It is becoming quite sticky. I want one of those, and that one maybe for there. I want to use that on the ball pin thingy, I think. Then I want to just snip it off here. I'll do that, and there's a reason also for that. So I'll use that part separately. This is so much fun decorating this kit. So let's see what we can do with this one. I need to put this one back in there. Just making sure I don't tear my pockets. So let's see. I am thinking about adding this. So I'm going to, I think this will work. Just punch a hole in, more or less there. One in the middle there, sort of in the middle. And then I should actually get myself one of those thinner pins. Now for this too, I don't want too thick a hole. I just merely want the pin to go through this rose. I'm going to push this through. Ah, that worked. Just a paper clip. I pushed it through with a paper clip. Now, I want to line this up in the ball pin. Just inking that a little bit. This one is more or less already inked. Just a little bit more here and there. And then the little rose, it just deepens that color. Now for this, oh, this will be perfect. I have such a good play now. I was hoping this would go on and on and on. but the pieces are now getting less. So I'm going to put this at the bottom there. You know what? I have another idea. I'm quickly going to pull this off, and I'll show you why. Not worry about that. It's not going to be a problem. Going to add that piece of lace there, and then just add more glue to this piece that is now a bit, it looks ruined, but it will work perfectly fine once it's glued down. And we're going to glue this one on top of that, but I want this to stand out a little bit, so I'm going to show a part of the lace there. There we go, unique, because we are all unique creatures. Now, ball pin, it looks like a safety pin, but it's got this rounding in it. So what we're going to do is we're going to line this up and that one, and we're going to hook it all together through there, this one, and then through that little hole that we made to keep that in there. And there we have a layer tag as well, and we can close this, but before we do, I want to hook this onto here, I think. Maybe do it the other way around, now that I think of it. Through there, the rows first, and then those two. I need to still get myself a smaller hole punch. Oh, I have one on my eyelet setter. I forgot about that. And I'm going to attach this on here at the bottom. And I just need to wiggle that in. There we go. And this then can hook there. And that is awesome. So we've got this dangle at the bottom. We now need something on top there as well. And for that, I think we need to add this flower. So let's move this over. I want this flower there, also on the top. This can go in and out. I like that. I really, truly like that. Let's see. Maybe we won't see much of that, but we can add that one there. I wanted to add that one there. I forgot now. So we will do that with the other one. Let's add this bit of tape on here, on the edge, closer to the edge. And then we're going to put a few of these. I'm going to want to put this in there. But for this, I'm going to trim this rose off. Sorry, Rosie. I'm so sorry, Rosie. Going to pop that in there. I want to see the rose, so just putting glue all over. And I'm going to put that in there. Now let's just move this. See, no plan to this. And now we're going to move this again. These are the loose ones. I want this one in there. And just move it down a little bit. There we have it. And it will not tear because it's now attached to that bucket. Dangle is still going strong. We'll pop this back in there, just to the other side of this now. And there we have this. And this one can go in there. Oh, I love this. This is just so, so, so awesome. Truly amazing. I love the little bits, the layers. Isn't layers just awesome? The flowers, the butterfly, sorry, the rose petals or the rose leaves. And then I want to try something with this still. So for this one, I'm going to just punch a little hole. I've got the smaller hole on here, just in the middle, which I forgot. I've got that, which is not as big. This one is a bit long, so I'm going to trim this off, just there and there in the edges, and then punch a hole in there. Again with a small one, and this time I am truly going to use, I wanted to use a safety pin, but let's undo this one. Just a tiny little bit. Pop that in there, and then reattach this, open it up, and now we have something that can move around. Isn't that awesome? I'm going to pop a hole in there and attach it all together. See how things can develop when you are not planning anything. I don't want the big hole. I do want the smaller hole. This was now not planned at all, and there we have that part. Now one last flower. Where can we put this one? It can maybe go in this little pocket as a nice surprise when they open up, to have that little flower there. There on this side. I'm going to add it there. But now I'm going to just put glue on that side and there so it can be an extra pocket. And I will just, let me just see quickly this and there. Let me just make sure. So halfway from there, right. And again, the glue is drying up in the spout. And attach that there. Now this can be a separate little pocket. Now we had a tiny little tag here, which I now want to add there, just so that you can see that I made this flower a pocket. And there we have it. I don't want to put it in before it's dry, otherwise I might just stick it down completely. And there we have our little pocket. I think it came out quite cute, absolutely quite cute. By now this glue should be done, and I can put this little tag in there. I think that gives an extra dimension, making this a pocket. Just to show you, you can truly do what you want with these kits. And I'm going to add that one there. There we have it. I hope you enjoyed today's session and that you see that you can truly change it. I'm just going to grab that sheet that was printed as the instruction sheet so that we can have a slight little comparison of how this is same or similar. I'm just moving this up a little bit or in a little bit. I don't know how it will all fit in on the screen. Let's do it like this, and there's the sheet. So this one, they had put their pockets more or less in the same space. There are those little tags that go on. I almost had the same flower, and then we added the other one in the pocket. So there we have it. I think the only thing I want to do is to add maybe a pull or two, just a little bit of that. I'm going to use these self-adhesive pulls. They are really quite cute to use here and there. It doesn't have to be everywhere. Maybe just put two there. I'm going to cut some down. I normally just use a string of this. I think lace always calls for pulls. I'm going to just add that there. Just line it up more or less and just attach it. So easy. And we have to maybe repeat the lace, after lace the pulls. On the lace, I'm thinking ahead of myself. Just turning this, putting some there. Don't touch the glue bar too much, otherwise it won't stick as well. I think that I like that a lot. And I'm going to attach 3 on top there, just on this label to the one side. Oh, that's a bit skewed. Just move it up a tiny bit. There we go. And there we have it. I think that is absolutely gorgeous. We've got those now. Maybe just put that there. There we have it. I think that is absolutely awesome. And there is our Granny Roses loaded pocket. Congratulate me. I normally refer to this as the Granny Goose loaded pocket, which it's not. It's the Granny Roses loaded pocket. I hope you enjoyed today's session. Thank you for joining me in making this. If you want to go try this, I will link their name at the bottom just so that you have it again. It is the DigiandSVGDesigns4U. They are on Etsy. They've got various designs for different occasions available. And as you can see, my pocket doesn't look the same as theirs. Not at all. It is truly up to you how you want to decorate this and what you want to do with this. Thanks for joining me. Please go try this for yourself, and please tag Wawa Crafting on social media if you do, and just say that it was the day that we had made the Granny's Roses loaded pocket from DigiandSVGDesigns4U. If you want to see more content like this, give me a thumbs up, please, and of course, I'll be appreciating it if you subscribe to my channel too. If you haven't done so yet, please hit that little bell so that you can be notified of new content as soon as I upload that. See you back soon. Goodbye.